All right, what is up, guys? I don't know what kind of personality I want to showcase on YouTube. I can't remember if I'm the funny guy or not anymore, if I'm going to be like an informative kind of guy. Was that shaking really bad for you guys? We got a new overhead cam setup. Cam, that's my name. So hopefully it looks good. So we have an 84 card PSA submission, and I want to show you what I got. I want to start first with stuff that I've already put away in my PC. I hate that term, I really do. These are cards that I want to keep as, in my collection, but, everything has a price, right? So we'll kind of go through it and we'll talk about what I'm keeping, and then we're going to talk numbers. I'm going to put numbers for everything up on the screen. I don't have them, actually, no, I will have them readily available as well. But not for these, because right now they're not for sale, so I didn't price them out. There's going to be another copy of this card further in there, spoiler alert. So we're going to see, this is number 102. No, I lied. This is the only copy of it, I think. So, I don't know. This may be like a $120 card, but we're going to keep it. Just a little Tag Team All-Stars PSA 10. And then Sky Legend PSA 10 for the hyper rare. I really, really like these cards. This is one of the nicest cards, I think, just visually. There's kind of like the full like silver looking copy of this card as well. And then there is the Stained Glass Birds, which was in Japanese. I don't think many people know that that card was in Japanese, but it was in Sky Legend as well. And then there's also the gold version of this, with this art that was in, I think, also Tag Team All-Stars. So a lot of the Moltres Adeptus Articuno exist, but I want to keep them in Japanese. This is a cheap little card, Rockets Persian EX. I don't know, $25 maybe. But I really, really, really like Giovanni, and I really like Persian. I kind of like their vibe. So right behind it, you have the full art, the super rare. I really like this card a lot as well. Hopefully the ring light isn't like giving anyone seizures. Roaring Moon EX, almost said Salamence, like a dummy. We pulled this, me and my girlfriend pulled this in Chicago when we were in Chicago for the National. After the National, we went from Rosemont, which is where it's actually held, not in Chicago. And we went back to Chicago. We had spent a few days there, but then went back to Lincoln Park. And while we were sitting on a bench in Oz Park, we pulled this. Nothing huge, nothing major. I really like the art, but it was a cool little experience. We love Chicago. Both of us love Chicago. My brother loves Chicago. So this is just like a really, really cool way to remember that. Super off center. I don't think that this should have probably been a 10. It's like super heavy on the left. I submitted 4 copies of this, so you'll see those. But I picked a PSA 10 to keep for myself. I really like this art. I like Giovanni. I like Meowth. This I also submitted 2 of, but I kept this one. I really love this card. Japanese exclusive. Everyone on Reddit was certain that this would never come to English, but look at us now. Rockets Nidoking. I like this card. It's, again, just like a bulk EX. Like, no one is really caring about this card. I really do like this card a bit. I really like Nidoking. Whenever I would play through the OG games, I'd always get a Nidoking and make him super OP. And then the SIR. This card is insane. If you notice, the cert numbers are actually a bit different here. But I believe that I submitted this with the rest of the cards, but I did this by itself in like an express tier submission. Mostly just to see if I could like cheat the system and have like, whoops, the entire order kind of like go through order prep a little bit faster. I don't think it worked, but insanely cool card. I love this card. I actually think I like this card more than the Rockets Mewtwo, but I would like to keep that as well. And then I graded a Minccino here. I really like Minccino. I really like Cinccino. My brother knows it, so for my birthday, I believe, or maybe Christmas, he got me this card in a PSA 10. And then I found this card at a card show So I bought it and submitted it and then got the 10s, or got the 10s, and I have the little set. Pretty cool. But this I did not grade. This came from my brother. So that's the PC stuff, you know, again, minus the Minchino, but I wanted to have the story with the Chinchino. And we're still, we're already 5 minutes in. So we'll go through the stack pretty quickly. There's not a ton of like super interesting stuff, I don't think. I'll grab smaller stacks, kind of like what my thinking is, what I'm doing with grading and all that. And I will actually say prices as I go through it, and I'll also put them up on screen. So this we have comped at $40. A lot of these cards are going to be for sale on eBay. A lot of them are already sold. Skyla Shining Fates, $75. And these were comped out as recently as last night. $27.50 on the Cynthia. I like this card actually. Tapu Koko, $60. This card I really do like a lot. We have it at $105 for Celebi. I bought this card, not this exact copy, but this was one of the first ever cards I bought for my girlfriend as a gift. So she still has that in a CGC9. So I may even give her this one and then take the CGC9 away from her, but we'll see. This one's super cheap, 40 bucks. Would have been nice in a 10. Let's look and see if we can find why it did not get a 10. Illustration rares, I generally do not grade. I don't like grading them. It feels like too much of a gamble to me. I have a nice strong light here, which really helps kind of like pinpoint some of the issues. Maybe there's like a little touch of like whitening on the top right, and then centering is almost always an issue on these. My phone is creating a bit of a shadow, but that'd be my guess, is like probably some sort of centering issue, and then maybe like a touch of white. We'll stop on this one just so I can kind of catch my breath and think about what I want to talk about. This is my biggest submission I think I've actually ever submitted to PSA. Actually, my biggest submission since 2021, when I submitted about 100 cards. This is 83 cards. Yeah, I sold a few of these, have been like pre-sold. Maybe like 40 of them are going to a seller. He might be doing like a repack or something, I'm not sure. And then I actually did sell a few of these in PSA offers. I don't have access to which ones those were, but a couple PSA 10s. So I'll kind of like actually throw that onto my little Google sheet that I have here just to kind of like help me help my numbers a bit. I think that I sold 2 PSA 10s, just like some modern cards. And then that kind of helps me like think about my gem rate overall, like what I've been hitting. These I did super well on. I've actually like never really done super well on these. I just like the upside on them. You buy them for like almost nothing, and then in a PSA 10 it's $175, which is just so nice. Got a couple of those. Noctowl, again, like these ETB promos I love grading, because I do think that it is just kind of like a matter of time before you get an insane run like this where you just get a whole bunch of 10s back to back to back to back. Like, it feels so nice. And the Mimikyu, this is actually my favorite ETB promo. I love this guy, look how happy he looks. So just a little demon run through that. Look at that, you're seeing double Mimikyu 10s. Iron Thorns PSA 10, what a run. Can we talk about, ooh. So the Iron Thorns we have at $50, which is nice. I don't know how much it is, maybe $5, and you spend $20 to get it graded. You're into it, maybe $25. You sell it for $50, you lose, 15% or something. So you're down to like $32.50. You make like $7.50 or something on an Iron Thorns. Like, it's really nothing great, but I liked it. I thought it was clean, and honestly I think it actually came in a purchase with a bunch of other sealed promos that I got. And generally what I do with sealed promos or any sort of quantity on a card is I I probably had 10 or I probably had 20 of these Snorlaxes, and I split those up across like 4 different submissions or something, you know, 5 in each. And that way it's just kind of like a nice little consistent thing, and you're not, you know, having to deal with selling, you know, 10 PSA 8 Snorlaxes all at once. You can kind of split those up. But cool card, and another 10. This is again 175, but different kind of card. This I graded, I don't really know why, to be honest. I have this at $35. I think that's reasonable. I think someone would pay $35 for this. Just a Japanese bulk card, but I don't know. It was well centered, you know, so I think that someone would want this for $35. Again, the math is just what's the card worth? 0 cents. Grade it for 20. You're into it for 20. You sell it for 35. After fees and everything, you know, you make $5 on this, and I think that that's pretty reasonable. And that's a lot better than 0. I even think that if this has been 9 and you sell it for, you know, you like break even, right? Like maybe you lose $5, but you know, my entire submission isn't made up of this type of card. It's made up of a lot of nicer stuff that can kind of offset that if I do lose on this. So, and we'll see more stuff like that that lost. This we do have a duplicate of. We have it at $30, which is kind of funny. It's actually less expensive than the Tyranitar. This as well, $30. I think that this might be wrong if they're both 30, but you know, maybe no one grades this one, so that makes the price go up a little bit more, and more people are grading this. But nice little, you know, I got to pick which one I wanted. I didn't look at them. I just grabbed whichever one was first. And then this is pretty nice. These we have at $55 each. 3 PSA 10s. I was really happy with that. I submitted 4, just kind of hoping that I could guarantee myself a 10, but I got 4 of them, so not bad. 55 a piece. Not bad at all. Dragonite V-Star, we have the Hyper Rare from Pokemon Go, I believe. Yeah. Pokemon Go Japanese. I really love grading this kind of stuff. This is something that I probably picked up at like a Collecticon or a Front Row card show that just looked super clean, and it, you know, a lot of stuff I'm not really even like comping like the raw price. Like I am comping PSA 10s when I see this card raw, because if I look and I see that this is a $90 card in a PSA 10 and they have it on their table for 20, and I look and I see like, oh wow, you know, it's well centered, it's modern Japanese, there's nothing wrong with the condition that I can see. Conventions generally have like really strong like fluorescent lighting, so like you can kind of see dents and surface issues pretty well. If I go through all that, like I don't really care if it's, you know, if they have it marked at 20 but it's actually 15. If my upside is, you know, a $90 PSA 10, you know, I'm fine to take that. So really nice little card there. Drampa GX. I love grading these cards. I love grading these like GX whatever they are, you know, like I think this is technically a shiny holo rare if you ask PSA or TCG player. But these like GX full arts are some of my favorite cards to grade. The backs are almost always super clean, spotless out of the pack, and then centering is super easy to tell. You just look at the top silver, because you see silver, black, silver. That like outside silver, it's just super easy, at least for me, to really eyeball. This one looks off center. It's not. It's just kind of like not caught under this railing, but the angle makes it hard to see. But you gotta trust me. There's a reason I overpaid on the Drampa. It's because I thought it would be a 10. Same with Golisopod. A lot of these cards, and you'll see the next card as well. Not popular Pokemon, but they're in Hidden Fates. People like completing this set in 10s. And again, like I think that there's margin there on these. Drampa I have at $65, and this Golisopod I have at $60. So these are cards that people generally are, you know, they don't want. So like they're selling them for like 5 or 10 or whatever, $15. You know, at $15 you're into it 35. You've done the math before, you can do math. And it's just like a little play that makes sense. Banette here, PSA 10, same thing, not a super popular Pokemon. We have it $70, I believe. And then some Japanese 151 art rares. We have Psyduck. I love this card. I've almost only ever gotten 10s on art rares, but here we are with a 9. These two cards we have at $100 a piece, 2 PSA 10s. I love this card so much. If I didn't already take so much out of this return for myself, I would definitely keep one of these. I really just like this card a lot. I think that this card will do extremely well. If it doesn't, then I think that there's a lot of other stuff that, you know, will be going down. So yeah, that's that. So those are $100. This one, $130. I really like this because I probably paid 20 bucks or less for this card from the same vendor. I remember this vendor, and can't remember exactly how much I paid on the card, but you know, it's $130 in a 10. I definitely didn't pay, you know, $50 for this card. I probably paid 20 or less. So really nice stuff. It's super easy to move. Like, honestly, it's Charizard. People want this. So really nice. Japanese, clean, perfect. This is one of my favorite cards to grade of all time. Darkness Ablaze Charizard. This card, man. This card. Yeah, this is another card that you see a lot at shows. Super hyped card. I looked through a lot of these, found one that I really liked, and that was it, you know. So PSA 10, you know, you could talk about this card a lot, but 360 bucks is what we have at Comtat. Pretty good. This card I don't remember buying, to be honest, but I thought it looked super clean. I think the only thing holding it back, actually, looking at it now, is the front centering. I think the bottom is just too thick. Again, it looks worse than this. I think that if you were to crack this and send this back 10 times, you would hit a 10, but that's not really the game that I play, so, you know. Definitely noticeable, though. Definitely noticeable. The bottom is definitely thicker than the top, so. This card I love. I spent probably $80. This card I absolutely love. I love black and white. I love Japanese. I love black and white Japanese. This card is just a hollow rare, but it's, you know, one of the OG starters, Venusaur. We love Venusaur. PSA 10. I knew as soon as I saw this raw at the show that this would hit a 10. So feeling really, really good about that. I like that a lot. Really like that a lot. It's actually a chance, now that I think about it. I think that this came out of a Gym 2 pack that Rusty gave me. Let's go back to that. Shout out Rusty. He let me open a Gym 2 pack when we were at his house, and he just let me keep the cards inside. So I think that this was my hit, actually, now that I think about it, because some of the following cards here are also from him and his unbelievable, you know, gracious hosting. And so we have $80 out of this for, you know, free, basically, the cost of grading and the cost of me selling it and all that. There's some stuff in this pack that I will get graded, some like the non-holos that I might keep, and that'll be kind of like a little gift to myself from Rusty. So 80 bucks on that, and then $100 on the Venusaur. So this is what I'm talking about right here. We have some Shadowless Yellow Cheeks Pikachus. We have 4 of them. So we have at $90, 2 PSA 9s, and then at, what am I going to say, a higher or a lower number? At $60. We have a PSA 8 and another PSA 8. So these we have at 60 bucks. If you are thinking, oh, interesting, 4 Shadowless Pikachus, and you're doing some math in your head and you're, you know, paying attention here. This came from a Zap theme deck that Rusty had us open, and he let me keep all of the cards out of the deck that he let me open. I sent in all of the Pikachus. I believe that they are all very fairly graded. They all have whitening on them. Every single one of them. This one just has a little touch. It's like, you know, perfect condition, beautiful centering, but then a little white there, so that's a 9. And that's going to be the same, just a white little touch there. And then these 8s have just a bit more whitening. Instead of just on the one corner, it's on a couple corners. so they get the 8. Super fair. Getting a 10 on any of those would have been super nice, but again, I'm into the cards for $0. It's just the cost of grading for me. This one sucked. I have it comped at $50. We have an 8.5. I thought this was going to be a 10 all day, but then you won't be able to see it on camera, but there's a little white touch right there, and then there's another little white touch somewhere on the bottom right that I saw in the scans, but you won't be able to see it here because I looked this card over so much when I got it back. I was like, why is this not a 10? Why is it this a weird near mint to mint plus, you know? But oh well. But impossible to comp. There's like no 8.5s, but I did $80 or $50. That feels fair. That feels reasonable. So we'll probably throw that up on eBay for like 60 and then see what happens. This one I felt nice on because I graded one of these once and I got like an 8, so I wanted to, you know, do it again and get a 10, and I did. So solid card, $120. Feeling good about that. Just a little Coridon EX SIR from Scarlet and Violet base. Pretty nice. That set kind of fell off, huh? Here we have Clive. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards of Scarlet Violet. You have a lot of stuff happening on this card. You really have a lot. There you go. I can zoom in a bit. I didn't play the game, so I don't know who any of these people are, but you have Hoppip, you have Sylveon, you have Clive. We love Clive. You have this little like Armor Rouge guy or whatever his name is. You have the I mean, underrated little Psyduck moment, right? You have a Timpole. Yeah, the Psyduck. We love this Psyduck. Anyway, super cool card. I love this card. There you go. Japanese 151. Nope. Japanese Scarlet Violet. Violet. Art rare. That's nice. $60. Another 60 bucker. We have or no, was that? No, that was not. This one is 151. I should just be reading the labels. I don't know why I'm trying so hard. SV2A is 151. And Poliwhirl, $60, I think. No, $60 on that, 65 on the Psyduck. So we have a couple nice little art rares here. Psyduck, Slowpoke, Poliwhirl. Some of the nicest ARs that exist, I think. This card is really nice, $65 on that. And then we get into kind of where I started picking some of like the PC stuff out, right? So we have PSA 9, I didn't want to keep that. I really only try to keep 10s on stuff unless it's like super rare. Did get this Hidden Fates. I didn't want to keep this. I used to own this. I'm good to keep the Japanese version. Here we have an English version. Again, I would rather keep the Japanese. Here's another copy of the Japanese. This one we have at $75. So I thought it was a bit more, but it's $75. SM210, $85. Holy moly, dude, for a PSA 8, $85. What are we doing? So I don't want that for $85. I'm good. I don't want this for $85. $65, Origin Form Palkia V-Star Secret Rare from Astral Radiance. This is a cool card. I don't really care about this card. This isn't really something that I would like seek out at a card show to grade. This was something that me and my girlfriend found on Facebook Marketplace when we were out of town. She was driving and I looked at Facebook Marketplace to see if there were any Pokemon lots. This card and a few of the next ones that I'll show, I'll point them out, came in a stack of cards that had a Starmie V, like the full art with Misty. And he wanted $100. At the time, that card alone was worth $100, and it looked pretty clean, so I figured I'll pay market on the Staryu, or whatever it is, Starmie, I'm pretty sure it's Starmie, and you know, the rest will just kind of be free, like that'll be the profit. The Starmie ended up getting a 9, but this got a 10. So not so shabby, 65 bucks. This was also in that, $60. Pretty cool. For free, you know, not so bad. We take free, we love free. And then we're getting kind of on the back half of the submission. And here we go. 60 bucks. This was also free in that purchase. That's how I'll think about it. This was also free. Holy moly, can you believe it? $65 for the Trainer Gallery Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Yeah, Trainer Gallery. There it is, Ashore Radiance, not bad. And then I threw this in. This is like a card that you kind of just gotta hope is a 10, and it was $75. PSA 10 Charizard. Holy moly. So, not bad. You know, the profit on the last like 4 cards or so, just, you know, they pay for the Starmie now. So what pays for what? Did the Starmie pay for those, or did those pay for the Starmie? This, I think, was also in that. This is not an expensive card now, 40 bucks. Probably in a 10 is maybe $100, but not so bad. And then this is the end, I believe, of the free cards, thank God, because what an atrocity this is. PSA 8 ball guy, 15 bucks. Why did it get an 8? I don't know. Probably some sort of scratching all over. Okay, well, it's super off center. Bottom is super thick. And then all it takes is that plus like a little scratch somewhere. And then you're cooked. You're at an 8. So that's probably what happened here. This is a little run that we don't really want to talk about. We're gonna kind of go through these. This is a atrocity. I don't know what I was thinking on some of these. These may just be super scratched or something, I don't know. But definitely there's like a crease on the top right there. So we got a 7 on the Skarmory. I don't know how to talk about pricing, 20 bucks. On the Heracross, 30 bucks. I'm actually surprised, 30 bucks. This is bad. For Alligator Neophile, 25 bucks. Meganium Neophile, also in a 6. Is that more or less than for Alligator? It's the same, it's $25. This one hurts. This one feels bad. This is a card that you do not want to submit ever. People don't want to buy this in a PSA 10, but I wanted it in a PSA 10. This hurts, this sucks. So what I think I'm gonna do is with some of these like kind of stinker cards, you know, these like weird, like low grade, this weird card, I'm gonna put them in an eBay auction and I'm just gonna let them go. I'm just gonna see what happens, like 10 of them. Just 10 cards together, see if I can't get like my grading fees out of it, 200 bucks. That's my goal. So we'll see what happens. This card is an atrocity, but I would like it in a 10. It would go good with my collection. So I have that marked at $0. This I kind of thought was gonna be worth more money from Shiny Treasure. PSA 10 Charmeleon, 45 bucks. Not bad, cool card. But cheap set, so it makes sense that that's cheap. This card is really nice. This card got pumped so stupid back in like 2022 when I was at Z&G. We saw a lot of these because the Sightseer Full Art, a card that I haven't even seen in like 2 years, was, you know, $1,500 when nothing else was $1,500. Now $1,500 is nothing in Pokemon, but back then it was kind of crazy. So people went from the full art that they couldn't afford to this card, which was way cheaper, and you know, this card was pumped like crazy. So I saw this at a card show. It looked super clean. It is super clean, and they wanted like, I don't know, $4 for it or something. In a 10 it is $80, so printing money on that one, not bad. This one is massive. We're gonna do a grade reveal. You ready? It's an 8. This one is, let's skip that, it's $15. That's no good. This one I really did like. We will actually do a grade reveal on it. It's a 10. Vintage. They still give vintage 10s. 24 years old. Neo 4 Dark Crobat. This card is just insane. This like art is ridiculous. one of the absolute nicest, and I think it looks so good in Japanese as well. So really, really, really cool card. This I found raw in Charlotte at Charlotte Collecticon. We were only there actually inside the convention center for maybe 30 minutes. We bought like tickets and everything. Went in, I saw this guy had like so much nice stuff. He was like the first table we stopped at. So much nice stuff like this where I was like, whoa, like what am I missing? Like, why is he selling this? I think I paid $25, $30, $35, something like that. Probably not even 35. I probably paid $25 for this. In a 10, it's $180. So not bad. I definitely would have spent more with him. I just thought that it was too good to be true, but I got the 10, so that feels really nice. This card also feels nice. For $100, we have a PSA 10 Dark Phantasma Full Art Gengar. Look at this. Look how beautiful this card is. Are you joking me? Are you joshing me? Enough said about that. PSA 9. Uh-oh. That's not good. 20 bucks. You lose money on this. If you bought this and graded it, you lose money. Japanese stuff I do tend to grade a lot of just because I do really prefer like the high PSA 10, right? Right there, there's like a little issue. Pretty clearly some surface oddness. That's probably what did it. So even in a 10, you probably only make $5 or something, so really not a good card, I don't think. And it sucks when you lose on those. This card I saw at a card show again. This one might have been a front row. And I was just looking at it like, what am I missing? Because I hate grading these types of these yellow border, art rare type, like old school illustration rare, these Galarian Gallery, Trainer Gallery is what they are. This one's a Galarian Gallery. I hate grading them. I never get 10s. You saw the Altaria, but I looked at it like, this, we'll see. It got a 10, $200. Whoa. I prefer the V-Star Universe version, the Japanese God Pack only version. I would like to have that. If I owned that, I think I would keep it, and I would try to keep the God Pack. I think a God Pack little sequential set would be neat, so I like this a lot. The art kind of connects. This one goes in the middle, I think, so pretty cool. This one I considered keeping along with the next one. We'll do them side by side. This one is $40. This one is $45. I think that these cards look really nice together. I think they would also look really good with that Team Rocket's Meowth card, but it's not really exactly in line, with what I'm trying to collect here, which is the birds, Minccino, Cinccino, and not just Team Rocket. Team Rocket is too broad, but Jesse and James and Giovanni. If it's not those, I'm not super interested, so there you go. This one stinks. You don't want to see this. This is no good. $25. You lose money on this too after shipping and fees, so not great. I think I was given this by my cousin because he knows that I like Giovanni and Persian, so I might actually keep this just because it's a gift. But I do have the Japanese PSA 10, and I am mostly sticking to Japanese, but if it's a gift, it's a gift, right? So we'll see what happens with that one, but pretty cool. Okay, this is actually the banger of the submission. Prize Pack Radiant Gardevoir PSA 9. Just kidding, PSA 10. So this I found at the National. I had almost no time to walk the floor at the National. I was very busy all day. A lot of people would come up to the booth that work with me, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you got to go check out over here and over here." I'm like, "Dude, who's your boss?" Because my boss has not let me do that. But near the end of one of the days, I did get an hour to go walk the floor, and I found this booth with Pokemon. It was pretty hard to find some good Pokemon there. There's a lot of sports guys who knew that Pokemon would make them money, so they brought Pokemon and had no idea about it. This guy did have a lot of Pokemon, and I saw this and I was like, whoa, wait, this is kind of clean. And my brother saw it and he was like, yeah, you gotta get that, that's gonna 10. And I was like, I don't know. It's just so hard on these cards, but it looked clean, so he told me to do it, and we, the show ended at, let's say it ends at 6 p.m. I was at this guy's booth at like 6:10 p.m. Like they're on the intercoms, like they're trying to get people out, right? But, you know, I ended up buying this card and I was like, I shouldn't have bought that. Because I think I like paid pretty heavy. I paid like 50 bucks on it or something. I love prize pack cards. I think these are super cool. But then yeah, it got a 10. So this I have comped at 500. This hasn't sold, I don't think. There's been like a public sale of this card. But I saw that there was like a Steelix or something that sold for 400. And then another kind of like, you know, Gardevoir I think is more popular, definitely, especially right now with Mega Evolution being out, Mega Evolutions being out. And so I did 500. That feels reasonable, right? If a Steelix is 4, this can be 5. Why not? So if someone wants it for 500 bucks, hit me up. So there's that. Also at the National, I think from that same booth, I found this, which is a nicer looking copy than the one that me and my girlfriend pulled in Chicago. So that's how I know that this is the one that I bought at the show and not the one that we pulled in Chicago on the park bench in Oz Park. So yeah, this one we have at 95. This one I wanted to grade, again, just to kind of keep for myself, but this was before I decided I wanted to pivot into only Japanese, so I don't really mind. I got a 9, 15 bucks. You're definitely losing money. It's definitely right side heavy. We'll see if we can verify. It's also actually bottom heavy as well, so 9, you lose probably $10 on that overall. Pretty bad. Again, I never grade illustration rares because I hate them. I did super well on these like cards in the submission, way better than I normally do. And it's, I think because I've been, you know, normally in a submission, if I'm submitting 84 cards, which I never do, but if I am submitting 84 cards, there's going to be like 30 illustration rares. This time there's been like 3 because I've been extremely picky on them. So 160 for this in a PSA 10, not bad. This card I overpaid for and I thought I was going to regret it. I think I paid $20 a piece on these, but instead we get some PSA 10s here. Japanese PSA 10 Misty Psyduck. Not bad. Heatwave Arena PSA 10. Those I have at $85 a piece. Yeah, I bought those on release because I was like, there's no way that's going to go down in value. Are you joking me? All right, here we have the Generations promo here. The Meowth with the, I can't remember what town it is. That's an 8. So thankfully I did get a 10. I bought this, it showed up. I bought both of my copies from the same seller. One of them looked really nice. The other one was this one. It looked like it got like dinged on a corner and it was off center pretty bad. So I was like, oh no, we're doomed. So I thought that I was gonna get like an 8 and a 9. I wasn't gonna be able to keep one, but got a 10. So there it is, not bad. This is a card that that was $80 by the way, which I spent $100 each on these, so I'm, you know, losing money. Even if I were to sell the PSA 10, what's that, like 120 bucks now? Like I would be breaking, I would actually be losing money. So we're just gonna keep the PSA 10 Meowth. I just love the card and it kind of looks like it fits with the rest of the collection. This is a card I've graded probably 6 times now and have only gotten 9s, but we finally got a 10. 315 bucks. Zapdos EX. This is like the 2nd or 3rd biggest card in this return. I love this card. I would keep this card probably if it was Japanese, but it is not. So we're gonna sell it for cash, cold hard cash. This is a copy I was certain was gonna be a 10, but it wasn't. It was a PSA 9. Wish it was a 10. That's like $300 in a 10, $350. But instead it's a 9. For $90, which is still really good. I probably paid $5 for it, something like that at a show. Really nice looking copy, but you know, I'm not going to complain about 90 bucks on it. It's not like I was going to keep it in a 10 anyway. And then we're kind of, you know, we're getting down to the last 2 cards here. This card I would have liked in a 10, but I do already own it in a 10, so I don't really mind. $10 in a PSA 8. You're definitely losing money on that for sure. And the very final card is a Japanese Sword and Shield Paradigm Trigger Hyper Rare Lugia V-Star. Really cool looking card. I really do like grading these cards a lot. Pretty easy to 10, and it's 70 bucks. So, you know, if you're spending $25, I think is kind of like where I would want to be on a card that you can sell for 70, because you're into it for 45 total, and you know, after fees and all that, you're probably looking at like I don't know, $15 profit, which is not bad, especially if you decide to do that, you know, 83 times. So if we look at the submission total, we have a total value of, let's do some math here on Google Sheets. You'd think I would have that more prepared, huh? $7,082.50. If you were to sell that kind of like all in one fell swoop at like 85%, I mean, I can do that math right now, actually. Matter of fact, I can do that right now. What was that? 70, 82, 50. And you could find people that are paying 85% pretty easily. That's going to be something like 6K or so. Yeah, $6,020. And then before we just let it get super boring, we're going to put the PC cards kind of back on the table. These are what I'm keeping. It's about 10 cards. So if you do the math, the 2 cards that I sold to PSA through instant offers, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 PSA 10s that I'm keeping for myself, that gives you how many? 68 PSA 10s out of 84 cards in the submission. So we have 16 cards total that did not get a PSA 10. Is that right? That feels really good. Are you joking? That can't be right. No, that's not right. What's that math? What is that math? That can't be right. I don't know. Oh, no, it's like 94 out of, I don't know. Anyway, we're at like a 75% gem rate on this. I think it was 68 out of 94 or 96 cards, actually, it might have been total. So not so bad, something like 75%. You know, granted, a lot of it is Japanese, the stuff that I really love grading, because you do hit more than you miss, and that's what I care about. But getting some wins on these illustration rares feel pretty nice, to be honest. It might make me be a bit more aggressive actually with grading them, or at least looking at them. When I go to a card show to buy stuff to grade, I'm just never looking at illustration rares. I like never look at them unless I'm like already looking at something else in that vendor's booth and I can like work it into a deal. That's kind of where a lot of these illustration rares that I have here come from. But you know, now I might, you know, stop and actually like look at some IRs and see if they're gradable. But that's it. About a $7,000 return, not so shabby, keeping about $1,000 in value, and you know, selling off the rest. It's Japanese. Like, look what I'm submitting, right? Like, there's not a huge margin on these. There can be sometimes, it just kind of depends, but I'm more just looking for consistent plays so I can like slowly, you know, buy stuff that I like, and you know, submit it and keep it in a PSA 10. It's, you know, not really looking for like a lottery ticket PSA 10, you know. So that's that. If you have any questions, let me know. Really do appreciate it. And I have some other videos coming back with, you know, this cool overhead camera. Whoa. I'm gonna be making some more videos that I think are interesting and that I hope you watch. So thanks for watching.